Good afternoon and welcome to our coverage of the Premier League clash between West Ham United and Manchester United, which kicks off in around about 10 minutes' time. Before we get into the commentary, we'll hand over to our commentator Chris Coughlin. Today we'll have the thoughts from JB after we received some sad news this morning from the world of football, which saw Jimmy Greaves sadly pass away this morning. And JB just wants to pay tribute to a footballing legend. So JB, how you doing, my friend? And what's the tribute you want to pay to Jimmy
Well, good
Greaves
afternoon.
this night?
Good afternoon, Russ. Good afternoon, Chris. It's a sad day because I'm one of the more older generation of commentators with the TCO, along with Barry and John Kane and people like us, and we remember Jimmy Greaves more as a presenter more than a player. But I know of his record as a player: 347 top flight goals, which is like if you compare. If he was playing today, he'd had over 900. He'd scored more than Ronaldo and Messi do right now, and he'd be probably worth 150 million pounds of anybody's money. That's in today's comparison. But to score 347 top flight goals in the olden days when they used to get kicked about, and Greasy was playing against the likes of Ron Chopper Harris, Norman Batchellegs Hunter, Tommy Smith, the Anfield Iron, and people like that. George Best. You know, you got kicked about in the olden days. To score as many goals as he did was a remarkable achievement. And, of course, he was part of the 1966 World Cup winning squad. But I remember him more as a television pundit and a presenter. Of course, everyone remembers Saint and Greavesy on a Saturday lunchtime. I certainly do, with Ian St. John. Great double act they were. They were my first introduction into football, actually. But he was actually a familiar face in the Midlands with ATV, first of all, and then Central TV on their Star Soccer show and other shows. He actually also appeared as a television game show captain, of course, not in a question of sport, but in a sort of a version of it called Sporting Triangles many years ago. I can even remember that one as well. And he also had a chat show. Was also a TV reviewer on breakfast television and things like that. So he did a lot of things. He wasn't just clued up on football for us. He was clued up on everything that was happening in the world. And Greasy was one of life's great characters. Sadly, I never got to meet him. He was a great guy. Scored in the '62 Cup final, incidentally, against my team, which denied us the FA Cup. But I don't hold it against Greasy because he was a great guy, great television personality. And he was a great and humongous figure in the game, a giant, an icon in British football, which sadly will be missed. And isn't it just ironic that he dies on the same day as Chelsea and Tottenham play each other at White Hart Lane a bit later, at the new White Hart Lane a bit later on? Isn't it ironic and poetic? And of course, West Ham, one of his former clubs that we're going to see in action in a little while as well, in about 10 minutes from now. Of course, they'll be paying tribute to Jimmy Greaves, I'm sure, today. But isn't it ironic? 3 of his former sides in action today on the day he dies.
It is, JB. It is indeed. And some great memories you spoke about there, JB. And like I said, it's going to be missed by many in football, including the teams he played for and the supporters who watched him.
And let's not forget AC Milan and Barnet as well. By the way, Barnet, he always mentioned, because he actually scored one of his best goals. He keeps telling people for Barnet. So he had spells at those two clubs. First man ever to move abroad, actually, to play football from England. So, you know, he was a trailblazer for English footballers.
Yes, so that's all we've got time for the match with Jimmy Greaves. We've got enough tribute for Jimmy Greaves there with JB.
Thank you, Russ.
Thank you for joining us, JB, and we'll see you soon, mate. Thank you for coming on.
You too. Good luck, lads. Ta-ra now.
Cheers, mate. And now, with all the team news, and get ready for action at the London Stadium for us, bringing you the game this evening. This afternoon. Let's say first good afternoon to Chris Coughlin. And how you doing, Chris? You okay?
Hi, Russ. How you doing, mate? I'm very good. Thank you very much.
All good, mate. Thank you. Should be a good game today. West Ham with a win could go above Manchester United and Chelsea for the time being, and even above Manchester City, who didn't get a positive result yesterday, and be just behind Liverpool, 2 points behind Liverpool, but then Chelsea or Tottenham could overtake them in our later game as well. Chris, how do you see this game going in between Manchester United and West Ham? Do you think Man United will have enough to beat West Ham, or do you think with the performance in midweek and the red card to Wan-Bissaka may dent Manchester United a little bit going into this one this afternoon?
I think United will be very keen to get back to winning ways. Obviously, the defeat against Young Boys Bern in midweek, it was far from expected. But after the red card to Wan-Bissaka, they held on well, Manchester United, until the latter stages of the second half. West Ham, the big thing for them today is, of course, no Michail Antonio after his red card at Southampton last week. It was a silly second yellow card late on in the game, but of course that means that West Ham's top scorer is absent for them today, which could make all the difference. And I'll take you through the teams now, Russ. There's 4 changes for West Ham from their win in the Europa League against Dinamo Zagreb on Thursday. Soufal, Ogbonna, Benrahma and Bowen all come in for Fredericks, Diop, Lanzini and Antonio. So the full West Ham team is Lucas Fabianski in goal, Vladimir Soufal, Kurt Zouma, who makes his Premier League debut for West Ham, Angelo Ogbonna and Aaron Cresswell at the back 4, Declan Rice, who's the Hammers captain today, alongside Thomas Souček in the midfield, Pablo Fornals, Nikola Vlasic as well, making his first Premier League start for West Ham, Said Benrahma and Jared Bowen. The substitutes for West Ham, Alphonse Areola, Ryan Fredericks, Craig Dawson, Issa Diop, Arthur Masuaku, Alex Kral, Mark Noble, Mr. West Ham, Manuel Lanzini and Andrei Yarmolenko. For Manchester United, there were 3 changes from the defeat against Young Boys. Raphael Varane, Scott McTominay and Mason Greenwood all coming in, replacing Victor Lindelof, Jadon Sancho and Donny van de Beek. So the Manchester United team in full is David De Gea in goal, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire, Raphael Varane and Luke Shaw. Scott McTominay and Fred in the midfield behind Mason Greenwood, Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba, with, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo up front. And the substitutes for Manchester United are number 22, Tom Heaton, Eric Bailly, Diogo Dalot, Jesse Lingard, Juan Mata, Nemanja Matic, Donny van de Beek, Jadon Sancho, and Anthony Martial.
Yes, and with the 2 teams there today, Chris, where do you think the key battle is going to be between the 2 sides before you get ready for your commentary? Where do you think the key battles are going to be, my friend?
Well, I think for West Ham, it's surely going to be a case of how they deal with Cristiano Ronaldo. You know, he might be 36 years old, but it's certainly not slowing him up as he is. He's a phenomenal just figure in the game of football, the way he looks after himself, the way he's able to perform at such a high level for so long. And for West Ham, how they do without Michail Antonio, I've already mentioned. It'll be Jared Bowen up front for the Hammers this afternoon, in front of Fornals, Vlasic and Benrahma. They've got to get support to Bowen. He did play up front a little bit for Hull as well in the Championship, but it's a big test for him today up against Harry Maguire and Raphael Varane.
Yes, and now almost time for kick-off then, so let's hand over to your match commentator, it's Chris Coughlin.
Thank you very much, Russ, and thank you everyone who's listening in for this commentary of West Ham against Manchester United. Of course, the feed we'll be watching this off is slightly behind what it would be on the TV, so about 40 seconds or so. So if you wanted to pause and make sure we catch up, then by all means do so. So you'll be able to have this commentary alongside the live pictures on your television. It's a full house, of course, at the London Stadium. Fantastic to see fans back in after 18 months or so with games behind closed doors. And I think I speak for the vast majority, it's fair to say, when I say that it's fantastic to see fans back inside the grounds. And it should be a very interesting one today. Manchester United, 10 points from their first 4 games, and many saying that Manchester United should be starting to challenge for the title, especially with the signings of Jadon Sancho, Jadon Sancho, Raphael Varane, and Cristiano Ronaldo. And West Ham, 8 points from their first 4 as well. It's a solid start for the Hammers, but they have drawn their last 2, including losing the lead twice against Crystal Palace. And there'll be a minute's silence before the game, of course, as a mark of respect to the late, great Jimmy Greaves, who sadly passed away this morning at the age of 81. Greaves played at West Ham in the 1970-71 season, scored 13 goals in 38 games for the club. And in fact, it's a round of applause around the London Stadium, quite rightly so, for one of the game's greats. England goal scorer as well, winner of the 1966 World Cup and part of that squad who famously triumphed in England's only major tournament success. To be an emotionally charged day for both West Ham and, of course, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium later on as Tottenham take on Chelsea. The players joining in the round of applause as well in appreciation of one of the game's greats, Jimmy Greaves. As we look around the stadium, we see the fans who fully aware of his contribution to the game in England and abroad, of course, when he went to AC Milan. The big moment back then for players to go abroad. Jimmy Greaves, a trailblazer of the game. We're about to get underway at the London Stadium. West Ham versus Manchester United. Should be a cracking encounter between two sides who certainly know how to play good football. Manchester United looking to join Liverpool on 13 points as the players take the knee in the ongoing fight against discrimination and racism in the game. Bruno Fernandes will get the game kicked off, and we are underway at the London Stadium. Bruno Fernandes back to Harry Maguire, who looks forward again to the left-hand side. Paul Pogba can't quite get a flick on, and it will come through to Ogbonna, clearing away. Paul Pogba on the left-hand side now. When I get a chance to, I'll take you through the teams again. Ronaldo now to Luke Shaw, and it's gone out of play. So the West Ham team is Lucas Fabianski in goal, Vladimir Coufal, Kurt Zouma, Angelo Ogbonna, Aaron Cresswell, Declan Rice, Thomas Souček, Pablo Fornals, Nikola Vlasic, Said Benrahma, and Jared Bowen. West Ham, of course, in claret and blue. Today, Manchester United, David De Gea in goal, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire, the captain, Rafael Varane, Luke Shaw, Scott McTominay, Fred, Mason Greenwood, Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, and Cristiano Ronaldo. Manchester United in a interesting new third kit. I think there's some funky third kits around nowadays. It's white with blue bolts, I think it's fair to say, as well, with blue shorts for Manchester United. David Moyes, of course, coming up against his former side today. Took over Manchester United after the great Sir Alex Ferguson retired back in 2013. He only lasted best part of a season at Manchester United before being sacked towards the end of the campaign. He had signed a 6-year contract at United when he joined them in 2013, but it didn't work out for David Moyes at Manchester United. But he's doing a very, very good job at West Ham. Of course, got them into the group stages of a European competition for the first time. As Manchester United come down the left-hand side now with Luke Shaw. Ronaldo back to Luke Shaw. He's been a much improved player over the last year and a half or so, Luke Shaw, of course, becoming England's first choice left back now, keeping Ben Chilwell out of the lineup at the Euros. Ben Chilwell didn't play a minute at the European Championships. Of course, had a COVID case as well during that. But Luke Shaw, of course, fully deserving of his time at the Euros. Paul Pogba now back to Mason Greenwood. United coming down the left-hand side. Luke Shaw with the cross, deflected away by Vladimir Coufal. Back to Fred in midfield, who plays it safe and gives it back to Rafael Varane. Signing, of course, from Real Madrid. What a player Rafael Varane is. World Cup winner, 4-time Champions League winner with Real as well. Fred looking for Ronaldo, but it will come through to Vladimir Coufal, who try and let it go out of play, and he does, despite the pressure from Bruno Fernandes. But I think it's a corner that's been given here. Coufal was guarding the ball out of play, thinking it had come off a Manchester United player. But no, it came off a West Ham player, and it is a corner to Manchester United inside 3 minutes. An unnecessary one from West Ham's point of view. It would be an outswinger from Luke Shaw from the left-hand side. Playing down for in there. Paul Pogba, Ronaldo, of course, Harry Maguire, Rafael Varane, they're all up there. Ronaldo, we all know about his heading ability. Will he get at the end of this? It'll be Luke Shaw to take left footer with the outswinger, and it's headed over the bar and away for a goal kick. It was Scott McTominay in there with the header. Decent cross in from Luke Shaw. McTominay got in there, and it's a looping header over the crossbar. No problem for Lucas Fabianski. It's a goal kick to West Ham, and it's taken short now to Angelo Ogbonna. 6 years Ogbonna's been at West Ham now after joining in 2015. Remember, very early on, he scored a headed winner against Liverpool in the 120th minute of an FA Cup tie. And he's been ever present for West Ham so far in the Premier League this season. Pogba gets in there ahead of Kurt Zouma, and now it's switched over to the far side, looking for Ronaldo, but Soufal defends that really well. Gives it to his Czech teammate, Thomas Souček. And now Souček gets down the right-hand side. Back to Pablo Fornals, who plays it safe. And he's done well to keep possession there, Pablo Fornals, giving it back to Kurt Zouma. On the far side, Paul Pogba's down, holding his face. Looks in some pain here, Paul Pogba. Be interesting to see what has happened here. McTominay played the ball out to Pogba, and he got there ahead of Kurt Zouma, who maybe caught Pogba a little bit late. Paul Pogba did win the ball. Doesn't look like an awful lot of contact from Kurt Zouma, has to be said, but Paul Pogba did seem in a little bit of pain here. He was calling across the medical staff who were treating him now. McTominay just making sure that Pogba's okay as well. Been a pretty even start to the game. Pogba, of course, he's had a fantastic start for Manchester United this season. Most assists of any player after the first 4 games of a Premier League season. 7 so far. Next best is at Cesc Fabregas, Thierry Henry, and Harry Kane, all on 6. Remember, of course, Pogba got 4 assists for Manchester United in their opening game of the season. That 5-1 thumping against Leeds at Old Trafford. Pogba with the white and blue streak in his hair, just making sure that he's okay. Kurt Zouma, of course, the signing for West Ham from Chelsea towards the end of the transfer window for the best part of £30 million. He was heavily tipped at Chelsea to take over from John Terry when he joined from Saint-Etienne almost a decade ago. But he had a very bad injury, Kurt Zouma, right at the beginning of his time at Chelsea, and he's had loan spells at Everton as well. Played well last season when called upon under both Frank Lampard and Thomas Tuchel. Solskjaer getting the ball back into play. Paul Pogba just gingerly walking off the pitch. I think it's fair to say should be okay to carry on here, Paul Pogba. But West Ham have the ball back, and Thomas Souček will get play restarted to Declan Rice, the West Ham captain. Souček now to Vladimir Soufal. Soufal looking forward to Bowen. We haven't seen a lot of Jared Bowen so far, and that will go through to David De Gea. Bowen up front today in the absence of Mikel Antonio, West Ham's top scorer. Scored in the Europa League as well this week, Mikel Antonio. 5 goals in all competitions so far for the Hammers this season, while Jared Bowen is yet to get off the mark this campaign. Harry Maguire back to David De Gea. Reclaimed his place in the absence of Dean Henderson so far this season. Played in the Europa League final, David De Gea, but it was Dean Henderson who played in the Premier League towards the end of last season. There was a hot debate as to who would claim the number 1 jersey at Old Trafford after a fantastic loan spell by Dean Henderson at Sheffield United for 2 seasons. Luke Shaw's won a free kick on the left-hand side. Bruno Fernandes taking it short to Fred and now to McTominay as United look to spread it to the right-hand side. McTominay to Ronaldo, who's come deep, and back to McTominay to Rafael Varane. Fred and Varane exchanging passes. McTominay. Ronaldo has done really well to take that under control, but tackled by a combination of Vlasic and Rice. And back to Zouma now. Soufal gets it under control. Turns it round the corner to Souček. Luke Shaw pounces on that, and now it's Bruno Fernandes looking for Ronaldo, but that's a heavy pass, and it will go straight through to Fabianski. Mason Greenwood trying to get on the end of that as well. Nice idea from Bruno Fernandes. Early ball. Mason Greenwood making the run, but went straight through to Fabianski and no bother for the pole in the West Ham goal. Rice short to Benrahma. He's another one that started the season really well side Benrahma. Goals in his first 2 games of the campaign against Newcastle and Leicester. Varane heading it out for a West Ham throw-in. About halfway into the Manchester United half on the left-hand side for West Ham. Of course, what an opportunity this is for Mason Greenwood to be playing alongside his hero, Cristiano Ronaldo. What a return for Ronaldo overall. What a sensational couple of days it was. Looked like he might be going to Manchester City, but ended up at Manchester United, or back at Manchester United rather, where he is a hero of the Stretford end. As United just keeping the ball amongst themselves now. Wan-Bissaka to Paul Pogba. Spreading it out with a really nice pass. And it's over Fornals through to Luke Shaw. Ronaldo wants it played early. Luke Shaw does play it early, but it's cut out by Kurt Zouma. Fred now picks it up, but he gives it away to Nikola Vlasic, the former Everton man. Aaron Cresswell now to Vlasic. Benrahma. West Ham just managed to calm it down after a bit of pressure from Manchester United. Declan Rice with a lovely ranging pass out to Vladimir Coufal on the right-hand side. Souček just puts it out of play while looking for Jared Bowen. I think that's something that Jared Bowen doesn't really offer that Michail Antonio does, in terms of that ability to get in behind and really go shoulder to shoulder with the defenders. We've seen Antonio cause all sorts of problems for defences this season, with 3 assists to go with his 4 Premier League goals as well. Coufal getting away from Fred and Pogba as well, getting away from a few more and giving it away to Declan Rice. Aaron Cresswell wants it played early, and Rice advances well. Cresswell now on the left-hand side for West Ham gets the cross in, and it's claimed well by David De Gea. It was over the head of Jared Bowen. Paul Pogba now. Wasn't the best pass in the world to Bruno Fernandes, but he managed to get it away to Scott McTominay. Ronaldo coming deep. He's exchanging positions with Mason Greenwood, taking it in turns to go up front, maybe trying to figure out how best to play against Kurt Zouma and Angelo Ogbonna. Paul Pogba now. Luke Shaw left on side again. It's where the attacks from Manchester United are coming down. Bruno Fernandes back to Paul Pogba. It was a good run by Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but Pogba didn't play the pass. Pogba now. Bruno Fernandes. 11 minutes gone at the London Stadium, and it's still West Ham 0, Manchester United 0. Still 0-0 in the other game being played at the moment between Brighton, Hove Albion and Leicester City at the Amex. Rafael Varane on the ball for United. Fred out to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Of course, playing today, but will be suspended in the Champions League following his red card against Young Boys Bern, a moment which really changed the proceedings of the game. United looked rather comfortable out in Bern until the red card for Wan-Bissaka, and then 2 goals in the second half won it for Young Boys, including a dramatic late winner after a poor back pass from Jesse Lingard. Wan-Bissaka on the right-hand side. Exchanging passes with Ronaldo. Wan-Bissaka. Back to Bruno Fernandes. Laying out to Luke Shaw. Lovely pass again. Ronaldo will want it again. Luke Shaw into Paul Pogba. Looking to make space for the cross. Luke Shaw. Bruno Fernandes. Luke Shaw. Just a heavy touch. And he gets away from the England defender. Goes out for a goal kick to West Ham. Nice idea from Luke Shaw. Playing the pass, but the pass back to him from Bruno Fernandes was a bit sharp, it's fair to say, and Shaw just couldn't take it under control. Fabianski looking long now, but again, it's just straight to Luke Shaw. It's not really an option for West Ham in the early stages without Michail Antonio. Jared Bowen looks like he wants the ball to feet rather than in behind at the moment, and struggling to go up against Maguire and Varane directly. United bossing possession in the first 12.5 minutes of this game. 75% so far. West Ham yet to really get their foot on the ball and cause United any problems. Wan-Bissaka now down the right-hand side. Mason Greenwood. Playing it through to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but Angelo Ogbonna gets there first and puts it out for a Throw into Manchester United, level with the West Ham penalty area. Which Wan-Bissaka will take. Back to Rafael Varane. Bruno Fernandes. Looking for Ronaldo in the middle, but Kurt Zouma dealt with it, and that will go out for a corner to Manchester United. On their right-hand side, but Ronaldo again looking dangerous as ever. United loading the penalty area. Maguire, Varane, Pogba, Ronaldo, McTominay, they're all in there. Plenty of height for Manchester United. Luke Shaw will take an in-swinger this time from the right-hand side. Right arm raised. Luke Shaw, left-footed in-swinger. In towards the heads, headed away well by Kurt Zouma. Bruno Fernandes telling Pogba to retreat. And plays it now to Fred. Back to Rafael Varane and back safely to David De Gea. Paul Pogba flicks on the long kick from De Gea. And now Bruno Fernandes on the left-hand side facing up Vladimir Coufal. Fernandes into the far post and it's headed away from Mason Greenwood by Aaron Cresswell. Good defending there by the former Tranmere Rovers Ipswich defender. Varane now. Fred. Looking for Bruno Fernandes, who's gone down. Bit of a meat in the sandwich between two West Ham defenders, Kurt Zouma and Vladimir Coufal. I think Martin Atkinson, who's our referee today, just making sure that Bruno Fernandes is okay. Much ado about nothing. I think the clash on the head might have come from the follow through by Kurt Zouma, just tripping over Bruno Fernandes. But Vladimir Coufal, good defending there against the Portuguese midfielder. Coufal himself enjoyed a fantastic season for West Ham last year after joining from Slavia Prague. Joining his teammate at international level as well, of course, Thomas Souček. Two very good finds for West Ham over the last year or so. Pogba looks okay now from the alien knock which he suffered. Of course, don't forget you can follow the Commentary Hub on Twitter as well. Our Twitter handle is CommentaryLive1. All follows greatly appreciated as we look to bring you commentary of various competitions, including the Premier League today. West Ham versus Manchester United as Harry Maguire. He's been caught out here. Jared Bowen, great chance. It's been blocked by Aaron Wan-Bissaka and cleared away from Maguire, but that was Harry Maguire getting himself into a real spot of bother there. Closed down by two West Ham attackers. Benrahma got in, teed up Bowen. It was a very good defensive block by Aaron Wan-Bissaka coming in from the right-hand side. That's the best chance for West Ham so far here. As Coufal looks for Fornals, but the throw-in will go through to David De Gea. But huge moment for West Ham. After a quarter of an hour, and that's the most we've seen from the Hammers in this opening exchanges of the game. Jared Bowen with the left foot strike blocked by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Coufal. Back to Fornals, who dropped a little bit deeper. Benrahma back to Souček. West Ham will just want to try and make their mark now in this game. It's been all United so far up until that moment. Lapse of concentration from the England international Harry Maguire, United captain. And very nearly pounced upon by David Moyes' men. Coufal. Bowen inside the penalty area now. Back outside Paul Pogba. Playing it back to Souček with the effort, but he rather scuffs his effort wide of the post from David De Gea. Souček got onto his left foot, but never really caught it. It's a goal kick for Manchester United. As we see the effort again, it was actually going wide from Jared Bowen in the end. He didn't really get a hold of it. Benrahma did well to capitalise on the mistake from Maguire, and then it was a combination of Rafael Varane and Aaron Wan-Bissaka that got the clearance in, got the block in to deny Jared Bowen, but it was drifting wide in any case from the midfielder playing as a forward today. Signed for £18 million, initial £18 million from Hull City in 2020, back in January 2020, Jarrod Bowen. With 9 goals in 54 Premier League games for the Hammers so far. Of course, linked with Liverpool during the summer. As Paul Pogba gets the ball out of players, just trying to get away from Souček, but took the ball beyond the line. What a remarkable run. David Moyes really for West Ham last season in order to get into the Europa League. Great European adventure for West Ham this season. Started with the winning against Dinamo Zagreb, who knocked out Tottenham Hotspur of last year's Europa League. Aaron Cresswell. Forward now looking for Benrahma. Lovely touch from the Algerian, but just gets away from him, and Rafael Varane can clear away as far as Cresswell. Souček. Cresswell again. Got Bowen inside the penalty area, looking for Bowen, but it's over him and will come through to Pogba, who's filling in at left back for Luke Shaw. Calmly done by Paul Pogba to find Fred. And Ronaldo back to Pogba. Back to Ronaldo on the left-hand side. A little bit of touch there from Fornal, just letting Ronaldo know that he's there. And it's a free kick to United, just short of the halfway line. Solskjaer not looking overly impressed with what he's seen so far, the United manager. Of course, there is pressure on him this season after the signings of Jadon Sancho, Rafael Varane and Cristiano Ronaldo. Need to get closer to Manchester City after, yes, finishing second, but finishing 12 points behind their City neighbours last season. United now with Rafael Varane. Safe possession. About 30 yards out from his own goal. Back to Fred. He's looking for his options. Bruno Fernandes coming deep and playing it back to Fred, trying to open up the play. Varane now down the right-hand side. Playing it out to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Again, they got options, but they're all quite narrow from United. Had 4 men forward there, but there was no real width to the proceedings. Declan Rice doing well to keep it from Wan-Bissaka, and Souček back to Cresswell. Into Benrahma, back to Souček, and now Aaron Cresswell again. Can West Ham build here? Might be able to with Fornals. The back flick to Souček. He's going to send it wide now to Vladimir Coufal, right-hand side. Got options, and he's going to look to the far side, headed away by Varane. Fornals trying to take it down. Bowen as well. Jarrod Bowen, this could be a chance. It's a good save from David De Gea, who's done really well there. And it's a good strike over the bar by Thomas Souček. But the best chance so far for West Ham falling to Jarrod Bowen. Good control from Jarrod Bowen, but a very good save from David De Gea with his feet. Lovely build-up from West Ham. Souček out to Coufal on the right-hand side. The cross went in, looking for Nikola Vlasic. But Jarrod Bowen did really well to take it under control, under pressure from Scott McTominay. It wasn't the cleanest strike in the world from Bowen, but David De Gea did well to block it away with his feet. And it's still West Ham 0, Manchester United 0 after 22 minutes. But by far and away, West Ham's biggest opening so far. And it fell to Jarrod Bowen. The follow-up from Thomas Souček flew over the bar. Luke Shaw now, left-hand side. West Ham have come back into it over the last 5 minutes or so. Fred forward looking for Ronaldo. He's got Ogbonna for company. Souček back to Declan Rice. Does really well to find Said Benrahma in a central position. He gets away from Scott McTominay. Nikola Vlasic. Haven't seen too much of the Croatian as well, the former Everton man, signed from CSKA Moscow. Russian Player of the Year in 2020. Nikola Vlasic. Scored at the Euros as well for Croatia against Scotland at Hampden Park. West Ham just play it back to Ogbonna, who gets out to Declan Rice. Aaron Cresswell looking for options, giving it back to the West Ham captain, Declan Rice. And now Kurt Zouma. Vladimir Coufal. Got Paul Pogba for company and gets the ball forward, but just to Harry Maguire. He's caught in two minds there, I think, Coufal, once he was fronted by Paul Pogba. McTominay now in midfield. Wan-Bissaka. Rafael Varane. Fred now. Fernandes, who comes deep again. Looking for options, he found Mason Greenwood. Nice pass out to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He's got Ronaldo and Greenwood inside the penalty area. Plays it short, though, to Fernandes. Back to Wan-Bissaka. Can he get the cross in? It's deflected. Mason Greenwood can't get there. And Declan Rice heads it away, and Benrahma can lead the counter for West Ham. Jared Bowen making the run. Can he get inside Maguire? Maguire should deal with that and does. Gives it back to David De Gea, who calmly plays it out now to Bruno Fernandes, who comes back deep to defend. And now Wan-Bissaka to McTominay. Greenwood. Cutting in from the right-hand side. Nice pass to Paul Pogba. He's got Ronaldo on the left-hand side and finds Ronaldo. Up against Sofal. Ronaldo, is this his first chance? Ronaldo straight at Lucas Fabianski with the right foot shot. That's the best chance we've seen so far for Ronaldo. Lovely work from Mason Greenwood. Cutting inside from the right. Finding Pogba, who played the right pass out to Ronaldo. Who's had a chance to run at Sofal. Cut inside on his right foot, but his shot was straight down the throat of Lucas Fabianski. I'm sure Fabianski was grateful for that, given Ronaldo's form so far after his return to Old Trafford. 3 goals in 2 games. Brace on his return against Newcastle, followed by the opener against Young Boys in the week. Vlasic, nice turn from him. Inside Fred. Benrahma. Played out to Cresswell. Is he onside? Well, the ball went out of play in any case. Cresswell's asking for it quicker from Benrahma. More emphasis on Benrahma today, of course, without Michail Antonio. The two have combined so well so far this season. Benrahma, who joined originally on loan last year from Brentford before making the move permanent in January of last season. Got his first Premier League goal against Brighton back end of last season and started well so far this year. Fornals. Decent bit of space inside the penalty area, but Pogba does well. And Fornals gives it away now to Bruno Fernandes. Only Ronaldo ahead of him. Gets it to Pogba. Good control by Pogba. Can he find Luke Shaw? That's the simple pass, and he gives it to the Englishman. Ronaldo. Back to Luke Shaw as United just regain possession. Paul Pogba. Spreading it wide to Rafael Varane, who in turn gives it to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, right-hand side. McTominay. Good options, but again, they're all quite central for United. No one apart from Luke Shaw on the left-hand side. Greenwood now. Wan-Bissaka. Mason Greenwood again, back to Wan-Bissaka, who again plays it back to Greenwood. The two exchanging passes on the right. Greenwood. Fred. McTominay. Bruno Fernandes. He'll get the cross in, looking for Ronaldo, and that's a good header away by Angelo Ogbonna for United's 3rd corner of the afternoon. It was a good in-swinging cross by Bruno Fernandes. A diving header from Ogbonna got the job done. Under pressure from Mason Greenwood on the near post. Fernandes waiting inside the penalty area alongside with the usual suspects, Ronaldo, Varane, Maguire, McTominay. It'll be Luke Shaw to swing it in from the right-hand side. Right arm raised. Luke Shaw with the cross in towards the heads. It'll come through to Bruno Fernandes. What a save from Lucas Fabianski. Tips it onto the post. Luke Shaw with the cross back in. Headed away by Thomas Souček. Bruno Fernandes back in, Kurt Zouma away, but what a save that was by Lucas Fabianski. Varane out to Bruno Fernandes, who was denied by the pole. Fred. Pogba now, and United have got safe possession of the halfway line. But Bruno Fernandes, what a save that was. It was a great left-footed volley by the Portuguese, denied by a brilliant save from Fabianski. Wan-Bissaka, United still have possession. Ronaldo. Mason Greenwood. Cutting it out on his left foot. Greenwood. Fred. Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw will have a go here. And that's a good save again from Lucas Fabianski. 2 good stops in quick succession from the West Ham number 1. Greenwood did well to get it to Fred. Teed it up for Luke Shaw. A good low drive from 25 yards. Fabianski got well down to make the save. But we'll see this again. What a save that is from Lucas Fabianski. It might have been cleared off the line in any case by Soufal, but Fabianski couldn't have taken that risk. It's a really good half volley by Bruno Fernandes. And Fabianski was not taking any risks. Tips it onto the post. Fantastic save. Bruno Fernandes wondering how he's been denied there. But Manchester United, their best opportunity of the game coming after 27 minutes. Vlasic. Up against Varane. Gives it back to Ogbonna. Taking the best part of half an hour, and despite United's possession, that is the closest that they've come so far. West Ham, of course, chances of their own. Jared Bowen scuffed a shot that was going wide before it was blocked by a combination of Varane and Wan-Bissaka before Bowen did really well to take the ball down. He was denied by the feet of David De Gea with later opportunity. Zooming out to Soufal, but his pass is cut out by Luke Shaw. Soufal does well to get his body in between Shaw and the ball and wins a free kick for West Ham on the halfway line. Luke Shaw as well had a very good effort in just after that moment where Bruno Fernandes had his shot saved onto the post. It was a good low drive. It was just quite central, so Fabianski perhaps expected to make the save, but did so well. Declan Rice drifting over to the right-hand side, finding Soufal. Cutting inside, giving it back to Declan Rice. To Pablo Fornals. Soufal with a lovely back heel. Jared Bowen looking for the opportunity to get a shot away. It's side. Benrahma's deflected. It's in! West Ham lead Manchester United by 1-0. Said Benrahma. It took a deflection, but Benrahma will not care about that. It's his third goal of the season for the Algerian international. And West Ham have the lead against Manchester United at the London Stadium. Pablo Fornals played into Soufal. Back to Bowen. Did well to get it to Said Benrahma. His shot's deflected off Raphael Varane. Completely wrong-footing David De Gea. And Said Benrahma scores his third goal of the season and gives West Ham the lead. Just outside the D, it was a curling shot. Varane got in the way, but it's gone into the other corner from where David De Gea was heading. And West Ham, just after Manchester United hit the post, take the lead. David Moyes jubilant against his former club, but a big moment for Said Benrahma. 31 minutes played. It's West Ham 1, Manchester United 0. The bubbles have gone off at the London Stadium. A big moment for West Ham. But it has to be remembered, Manchester United, they're on a 28-game unbeaten run away from home in the Premier League. But they have been behind on plenty of occasions over the last season and a half. 32 points they have recovered from losing positions in that time. And they'll be keen to ensure that that run is extended today. As Bruno Fernandes gets in down the right-hand side, he's got options. Looking for Luke Shaw on the far post. Headed back to Ronaldo, and his improvised effort rather goes out for a goal kick. But January 2020 was the last time Manchester United tasted defeat on the road in the Premier League. A 2-0 defeat at Anfield. Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah with the goals that day. Said Benrahma has put West Ham in front, and United's long unbeaten away record in the Premier League is severely under threat here. They didn't taste defeat on their travels at all in the league last season. Of course, were defeated on their travels in Switzerland on Tuesday in Bern against Young Boys. Could it be the same again against West Ham today? Headed forward, looking for Bowen. Maguire now. Luke Shaw. Paul Pogba. Does well to get away from his man Paul Pogba and finding McTominay. So McTominay with the ball to Ronaldo. The flag stays down. Ronaldo cutting inside. Ronaldo, great challenge from Kurt Zouma. Brilliant defending, and Pogba goes down with a challenge from Fornals. Martin Atkinson waves away, appeals for a penalty. Wan-Bissaka gets into the box. Wan-Bissaka drives it, and it's a good save from Fabianski down at his near post, but it's all going on in the West Ham penalty area at the moment. The flag stayed down as Ronaldo got in, cut inside, and just was about to pull the trigger. A brilliant challenge from Kurt Zouma. Pogba did well in the first instance. It's a good ball by McTominay. The flag stayed down. Ronaldo cut inside and got away from Soufal. And just as he was going to swing his right foot at it, a diving challenge from Kurt Zouma denied Ronaldo. In swinger again from Luke Shaw, right-hand side. The ball goes in, headed away by Souček. Fornals just about gets it clear. Vlasic can't complete the clearance. Fred now out to Bruno Fernandes. Left-hand side. They'll cross the ball in swinging. It's come through to Ronaldo, surely second time. It's the equaliser for Manchester United. And Cristiano Ronaldo has done it again. The cross in from the left-hand side from Bruno Fernandes. And Ronaldo at the second time of asking brings United level. Fred out to Fernandes. Ronaldo. There will be a VAR check. It has to be said, it is very tight on the far side. Ronaldo got in. His effort was straight up Fabianski, but he fumbled it. And Ronaldo followed in to bury the rebound. There is a VAR check going on for a possible offside against Ronaldo. It looks like it will be given onside, with the green line being behind the final line of the defender, and Manchester United have equalised through Cristiano Ronaldo, and it is 1-1 at the London Stadium. His 789th career goal. One of the game's greats, without a doubt. And West Ham were not in front for long. It's been a quick response from Manchester United. Level within 5 minutes of West Ham's opener. Benrahma with a deflected effort from just outside the penalty area. But Ronaldo with a tap-in after his initial shot was saved by Lucas Fabianski. It's been an enthralling first half here at the London Stadium, it has to be said. It was all United early on, but West Ham got back into it and deservedly took the lead through Said Benrahma, but it was a quick response from United who applied the pressure. And Ronaldo, you simply can't leave him alone as he gobbled up his fourth goal already since returning to Manchester United. Fourth goal in 3 games in all competitions, including 3 and 2 in the Premier League. As United have possession now with Raphael Varane. McTominay. Fred. Pogba again, looking for options, doing well to keep the ball in midfield. Luke Shaw. Paul Pogba. Out to Wan-Bissaka, nice pass from Pogba. Wan-Bissaka cutting inside. Giving back to McTominay, who swings it in first time. Souček clears it away. Will be cleaned up by Raphael Varane. To Wan-Bissaka. Just about keeps the ball. It's gone out for a throw-in, and that will go to West Ham. Just short of the halfway line. Just seeing Ronaldo's equaliser again. In-swinging cross for Bruno Fernandes. Ronaldo alive to the opportunity, as he always is. And pounced on the rebound after Fabianski wasn't able to hold his initial effort. Just got away from Aaron Cresswell. And you can't provide Ronaldo with those opportunities and expect to get away from it from a defensive point of view. So instinctive as he's been throughout his career. Bruno Fernandes, the Portuguese link-up, of course. A lot's been talked about in terms of who will take the first penalty for Manchester United after Ronaldo's joined. Will Bruno Fernandes remain on them, or will Ronaldo take over spot kick duties? We will wait to see. We haven't seen United given a penalty since Ronaldo's return yet, but it'll be very interesting to see what happens when they do get a spot kick and both are on the pitch. Varane now to Maguire. Shaw into Fred. Come deep to assess his options and gives it out to the right-hand side to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Varane. Played forward now, looking for Ronaldo again, but Zuma, for the most part, has dealt well with Ronaldo and did so again there. Forward looking for Vlasic. Wan-Bissaka now. Into McTominay. Scott McTominay, will he get the cut back to Ronaldo? He can, but it's behind Ronaldo and it doesn't come to Pogba. And Soufal just about avoids the corner after the good defending by Pablo Fornals. 39 minutes gone here. The London Stadium just coming up to half-time. United in the ascendancy as we approach the break. Bruno Fernandes. Fornal challenging Fred. Fred comes away with the ball, but Souček comes in and makes sure the ball goes out for a throw-in. Which Soufal will take. If you're enjoying this as well, of course, make sure to follow the Commentary Hub on Twitter to keep up to date with all of our latest commentaries in the Premier League and various other competitions. That's at Commentary Live 1. The number 1 on the end of Commentary Live. To follow our Twitter account, Commentary Hub on Twitter. Plenty of great content coming up with some fantastic commentators over the course of the season. Mason Greenwood's taking it down. Bruno Fernandes. Challenged well by Declan Rice, who gets the ball away to Fornals. Now Jared Bowen on the right-hand side. We haven't seen too much of Bowen since his opportunity just before the Benrahma strike. Bowen trying to get away from Luke Shaw. He does really well to put that out for a throw-in to West Ham, just short of the Manchester United penalty area. If you're just joining us on the Commentary Hub, just coming up to half-time, 41 minutes. It's West Ham 1, Manchester United 1. Said Benrahma's deflected opener for West Ham before Ronaldo equalised shortly after. The goal's gone in, the opening goal of the game at the Amex. Brighton Hove Albion lead Leicester City by 1-0. Neil Maupay with a penalty after 35 minutes there. He started the season well, Maupay as well. That's his third goal of the campaign so far. Scored in Brighton's first 2 games against Burnley and Watford. A testing week for Leicester after dropping a 2-goal lead against Napoli in the Europa League. They're behind now on the south coast against Brighton. And Manchester United have dragged themselves level against West Ham here. Greenwood, Ronaldo in on the right-hand side. Ronaldo with a good low strike, and that's a very good save again by Lucas Fabianski. Look for all the world, Ronaldo would get his and United's second, but that's a really good stop from Fabianski. Greenwood drove into the box. Ronaldo with a low strike. And Fabianski did well to parry it and then claimed it at the second attempt after Soufal and Zuma made sure that the ball wouldn't fall to a United attacker. And now West Ham are on the attack. Fornals out to Aaron Cresswell on the left-hand side. He's got Benrahma and Bowen in the box. Cresswell. Vlasic! Great chance for Nikola Vlasic, but he's blasted it over the bar at the near post. West Ham breaking well from that United chance at the other end. Aaron Cresswell with the low cross. And Nikola Vlasic would be very disappointed with that he hasn't at least got it on target. It came to him sharply, but on his left foot at the near post, he'll think he should have done better than that. He had his heads in his hands, which tells you all he thinks about that. But it has been a fantastic match, this. United dominating possession 63%, but West Ham have been very much in with the opportunities that they've created. Nikola Vlasic there with the latest of them. Just couldn't get his shot on target at the near post. Ronaldo. Deep to find Fred. McTominay. Wan-Bissaka. Greenwood now around the corner. Facing up Ogbonna. Greenwood with the cross. Looking for Ronaldo. Good header away by Kurt Zouma. We know how good Ronaldo is in the air. Benrahma can collect it. Try and bring it away. And he's found Fornals, but that's good defending by Fred. The referee has given a Free kick after Benrahma was caught in the midfield. West Ham can have a spell of calmness inside their own half. It really has been a very good first half. End to end on occasion, despite United's possession. Of course, these two meeting in the Carabao Cup as well this week at Old Trafford. Pogba doing well to get away from Benrahma. Ronaldo on the left-hand side. Luke Shaw coming up outside him. Luke Shaw not too much to aim for inside the penalty area, so gives it back to Ronaldo. Ronaldo cutting inside Kurt Zouma. I think he wants to get his shot away here, Ronaldo. A few step overs and gives it back to Bruno Fernandes. Luke Shaw. Bruno Fernandes again. Cross goes out to Wan-Bissaka. Nikola Vlasic just misses it. McTominay. Varane. Fred. Maguire. Fernandes back to Raphael Varane. Advancing forward here, the French World Cup winner. Just outside the penalty area, Raphael Varane. Wan-Bissaka into Mason Greenwood. Getting the ball into his left foot, looking to get a shot away. Finds Luke Shaw. Pogba coming in on the far side. Fred. Fernandes back to Harry Maguire. Just approaching stoppage time here at the London Stadium. Still West Ham 1, Manchester United 1 as Paul Pogba gets away from his man and drives a shot wide of Fabianski's goal. Never looked like he was going to trouble the West Ham keeper. McTominay round the corner to Pogba. Did really well to get away from Aaron Cresswell. Got the ball onto his left foot and rather scuffed it wide in the end. There'll be 2 minutes of added time here. In fact, it's a corner to Manchester United. Pogba did appeal for it. Shaw with the outswinger. As we're just into stoppage time here at the London Stadium. Luke Shaw with the outswinger. It'll come to Ronaldo, who tries to shoulder it back into the mix. Maguire headed away. Maguire back in. Bruno Fernandes picks it up. Right-hand side of the penalty area. Bruno Fernandes up against Aaron Cresswell. Gets the cross in and Fabianski tips it over the crossbar. No chances taken there. There'll be another corner to United as we come towards the end of the first half. Fabianski made the right decision there, just tipping it over his crossbar. No chances taken. It'll be Bruno Fernandes this time to take the corner. Right-hand side will be an outswinger, which it is towards Pogba, headed away by Ogbonna. Luke Shaw. Fred looking for Bruno Fernandes, but it's cut out. Varane does well to try and retrieve the ball, but now Cresswell's got it away to Pablo Fornals. Plenty up front here for West Ham in this attack. Over to the far side, Nikola Vlasic. Right-hand side up against Luke Shaw. Gets the cross in, and it's behind the West Ham attackers, and it's cleared away by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Souček back to Ogbonna as we enter the final 30 seconds of the first half. Zouma back to Thomas Souček. Cresswell out to Fornals, who is playing it safe, but then plays it to Souček. Fornals again. Cresswell. Can West Ham get one more opportunity before the end of the first half? It's a good ball to Pablo Fornals. Looking for Cresswell. Sofal now right-hand side. Gets the cross in. Headed up in the air by Fred. Away by Harry Maguire. And that is half-time at the London Stadium. West Ham took the lead through Said Benrahma's deflected strike. It went off Raphael Varane into the corner. David De Gea was left helpless, but the lead did not last long for the Hammers after Bruno Fernandes' cross was turned in by Cristiano Ronaldo at the second time of asking after a good save from Lucas Fabianski, but he couldn't hold the ball, and Ronaldo pounced to bring United level. There's been opportunities for both sides as well. Bruno Fernandes hit the post. His half volley was well saved by Lucas Fabianski, who did well as well to keep out Luke Shaw's long-range effort. Well, Jared Bowen has had opportunities for West Ham. He had a shot saved by the feet of David De Gea before Nikola Vlasic blasted over. But half-time now at the London Stadium. It is West Ham United 1, Manchester United 1.
Thank you very much there. Chris Coughlin will be back with Fritz for the start of the second half to see if this game can change. Manchester United towards the end of that first half looked to try and change the game around after going behind in that match early on. In the other Premier League game, it is Brighton 1, Leicester 0 at the break. Neil Maupay with the goal after it was an handball after VAR checked from Yannick Vestergaard. I have seen that incident, and for me, Yannick Vestergaard could not have his arm was in a natural position when he's trying to jump for the ball, and the ball struck him with a downward header as he's falling down. So as he's falling, his arms are out and he's caught him on the arm, and the referee, which is Stuart Atwell, pointed to the spot. He went across. He didn't point to the spot at first. The way to play on. But then VAR got involved and told him to go and check, and he checked and he gave it a penalty for the VAR review, plus also speaking to his assistant who was in line with the challenge. Indeed, and Velman both booked in that game incidentally, but Brighton lead by a goal to 0 at the break there. I'm following updates from the Premier League 2 clash in the under-23s game between Leeds United, who are away to Liverpool, and I can tell you that Leeds United are 2-0 up thanks to goals from Joe Gellar and Amari Miller, with Joe Gellar scoring the opening goal from 40 yards out. From the halfway line, he spotted Liverpool goalkeeper Marcelo off his line and lobbed the keeper from the halfway line from 40 yards to put Leeds 1-0 up. Speaking of Gellar, he assisted the second goal and assist for Joe Gellar in that one. That's the Liverpool Academy. Following updates for that, I'll give you the full-time score at the end of this programme. Just reading some updates here as well. It says 2 moments of real quality from Joe Gellar in the opening 45 minutes. First, he lobbed the goalkeeper from 40 yards, and then splits the red defence with a dribble for laying on Amari Miller. Cody Drama has been unplayable on the right-hand side of Leeds United's defence, the young right back. With Pascal Struijk, who was sent off against Liverpool for the Leeds United first team, are playing today. He's playing today, should I say, against the under-23s, due to be suspended for first-team games only, following his red card. Paul James has been in touch, says Ronaldo is unplayable at times. Do you think he gives Manchester United a real chance of winning the title? I think he will do, Paul. I think Man United have got a chance of, as anybody in the Premier League, because he was in that up near the top of the table in the Premier League so far. Because there's still a long way to go. And Chris, if you're still there, do you reckon Ronaldo gives Manchester United a real chance of winning the Premier League title this season?
I think that he gives them a very good opportunity. I think that he'll bring them closer to the likes of Manchester City at the top of the table. Of course, City we saw unexpectedly dropping points against Southampton yesterday, and Southampton for a lot of the game did look comfortable. It does have to be said, and of course there was the whole penalty controversy. It'd be interesting to hear what you think about that, Russ. Whether Southampton's penalty should have stood at the Etihad, but I think for United they have to be closer. I mentioned in commentary they finished 12 points behind Manchester City last season. With the signings of Sancho, Varane, and Ronaldo, that wouldn't be acceptable this time around. I do also think that silverware, whether it be the FA Cup, whether it be the League Cup, has to be on the cards for United as well. Of course, they will look to fight back from that opening day defeat in the Champions League as well. But Ronaldo, it provides a whole different dimension to United's attack. He's just so alive. You can't lose sight of him for 1 second. And I think that United will have a very good opportunity to at least close the gap, if nothing else, on Manchester City.
Yes, absolutely. I think also, Chris, I don't think it's going to be a 2-horse race this season like we've seen in previous seasons for the title, with Liverpool and Manchester City going head to head for the title. I think Chelsea could be up there. Obviously, we've mentioned just touched on there Manchester United. Now they've got Cristiano Ronaldo back, and I think even if they didn't get Ronaldo back, I think Man United would have to be up there this season as well. Who do you think it's going to be? Because I think it's going to be a 4-horse race this season with Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool and Chelsea going head to head for the title, and I think there's going to be plenty of twists and turns, and I think it could go down to the final day of the season. Do you think it's going to be a 4-horse race as well, Chris, or do you think it's going to be a 2-horse race like he has been for the past couple of years, and if so, which two do you think is going to probably run away with it and then battle it out for the title?
No, I think a 3 or 4 horse race is much more possible than a 2-horse race. I think, we've seen the signings that Chelsea have made, including Lukaku up front, who's again been incredible for them so far. Liverpool have almost gone under the radar a little bit, I think it's fair to say, but they were top of the table last night going into today. They only made one major signing in the summer. That was Ibrahima Konate, who made his debut yesterday against Crystal Palace. And yesterday Liverpool changed 3 of their back 4 from their last league game. Alexander-Arnold wasn't in the squad. Andy Robertson got a rest. Kostas Tsimikas played, who's done well so far when called upon this season. And Konate obviously coming in for Joel Matip. Van Dijk has been a colossus since he's come back. I think I'm a little bit surprised in terms of how big his impact has been, just given how bad his injury was. But he looks like he's never been away, to be honest, Virgil van Dijk. And we mentioned City and United, and I just think the quality of those 4 squads. Gary Neville said we quite possibly have the 4 best teams in the world in the Premier League at the moment. And I think that is quite possibly the case. I think the top 4, in terms of those 4, the 4 that are expected to be going for the title, they could take on any team in the world. I have no doubt about that. And we are set for a competitive Premier League season. Of course, last few years, Liverpool and City ran away with it. But then if you go back to 2018-19, what a season that was. Liverpool getting 97 points, Manchester City getting 98 points. That would be remarkable if that was anywhere near the case of that again. But a competitive Premier League is what we all want to see, and it'd be very good if we do see it.
Absolutely, Chris, absolutely. You mentioned about that penalty for Southampton yesterday, which was given and then got overturned. Having seen it yesterday and this morning as well on the TV, on the highlights, I think I can see why it was given first, but then when you look at when VAR gets involved and it goes and looks at the monitor and changes his mind, I can see why he's changed his mind as well. In real time, it does look a penalty, but when you look at it on VAR, Walker gets in front of the Southampton player and he goes through, and the Southampton player goes through Walker. I think it was Armstrong, goes through Walker to try and make a challenge. So I think in the end, the officials going to VAR helped and got it spot on in the end. Chris, you've probably have seen that incident as well for Manchester in the Manchester City game, the Etihad yesterday. What did you think to that penalty incident? Did you think he should have been one, or did you think, like me, first in real time viewing, he should have been, but when you look back on VAR, we got it spot on in the end?
This is the beauty of opinions, Russ, to be honest, because I think it's a penalty. I think it's a stonewall penalty. I think certainly what is the case is that VAR is to be used for clear and obvious errors. I don't believe when John Moss looks at those replays, he can say that giving a penalty to Manchester City was a clear and obvious error. I think Southampton were very hard done by. with the incident. I can see why people are giving the opinion that it wasn't a penalty, and I fully take that on board. But for me, if I was refereeing that incident, I wouldn't have seen a cause to overturn it. But that's the beauty of opinions, isn't it?
It is indeed, Chris. It is indeed, and obviously I know you do work for. Well, you got a day job as well, and which I won't mention where you do work, but obviously, main where you cover the likes of Liverpool and Everton, and I mentioned in the half-time bit before going back in to discuss some of the incidents and the comment from Paul James touched on Pascal Struijk. I've seen a lot of people over the past week or so, some referees and some pundits saying it was never a red card for Pascal Struijk, and even Harvey Elliott has come out and said it was never a red card, and he was surprised when it didn't get overturned. What did you make to the incident last week at Ellen Road between Pascal Struijk and Harvey Elliott? Did you think he should have been sent off at the time? Because when I look at the pictures as well, from when he was shown the red card, you could see Divock Origi say mouth towards the referee, WTF, as if to say, why has he sent him off? Even Divock Origi, his Liverpool teammate, didn't think he should have been a red card, and I don't think none of the players thought it should have been a red card. I don't even think Salah thought it should have been a red card, or even Van Dijk, because Van Dijk, first player to console Struijk after being sent off was Virgil van Dijk. So what did you make to that challenge last week, Chris? And did you think it was a red card? Because I'm a Leeds fan, and I don't think he was. And even if I was a neutral watching that, I don't think he was. I spoke to a mate of mine. Him and his son's a Rotherham fan, his other son's a Sheffield Wednesday fan. They all said it shouldn't have been a red card. What did you think to it, Chris? Did you think it should have been a red card for Pascal Struijk last week?
Just very quickly, just because we are about to get the second half underway at the London Stadium. I think at the time, given the severity of the injury, I can understand why the red card was given. Given how bad the injury was, the fact that Harvey Elliott spoke out and said in his opinion that it was not a red card, I think that should have been taken into consideration as well if the player that was on the receiving end didn't think it was a red card. And I just wish Harvey Elliott all the best. He's a fantastic talent. He was fitting in seamlessly into that Liverpool side, and would have had a fantastic season. Of course, we'll have to wait to see him back now. But of course, Pascal Struijk as well. I hope he's okay in all of this, because it's never nice to be involved in something like that where a player comes off with a bad injury. But I hope he recovers from it as well in terms of his part in it. And as Harvey Elliott said, I think from his perspective, says a lot. And there was no intention, and I think that's the main factor.
Yes, absolutely, Chris. Absolutely. So we just thought to get your opinion on that as well. Because I did mention that he's playing against Liverpool under-23s today, and by all accounts from what I've been reading, he's playing a good defence, playing in like a defensive midfield role. Two defensive midfield role players in there, maybe playing just to be further forward and dropping back at times, and he seems to be having a good game so far in there. The players are getting ready to come back out. You can see a sign there that says, Ronaldo, can you have your I'm a big fan, can I have your shirt? And we're just looking at the fantastic save again from Fabianski. That was a superb save to tip Fernandez's effort onto the post to keep that effort out. I think the players will be edging their way back out onto the field for the second half. That they are, you can see Cristiano Ronaldo and his Manchester United teammates out on the field, just going through last minute warm up before the second half starts. I think we're just awaiting the team of West Ham United to make their way out onto the field for the second half. So what we'll do now, I'm going to hand back to your match commentator for the second half and land over to Chris Coughlin.
Thank you very much, Russ. As Russ was saying there, West Ham just starting to emerge from the tunnel at the London Stadium. Wonder what the message will have been from David Moyes to his side at half-time. They were very much in the contest, despite Manchester United's possession. Plenty of chances for West Ham, even before the goal from Saeed Benrahma on 30 minutes, before Ronaldo's equaliser on 35. No changes yet for either side by the looks of things, as we're just about to get the second half back underway. Plenty of bubbles going around the London Stadium, of course, home of West Ham United. Since 2016, of course, these two teams contested the final game at Upton Park in 2016, a 3-2 thriller, which West Ham won. An emotional final day at Upton Park before West Ham moved over to the London Stadium. It hasn't been easy going for them all the time at this new ground. They have had their testing moments, but more often than not nowadays, they do look a much bigger threat on home soil than they have done perhaps in the last few seasons. Of course, last season by finishing sixth, there was the joke going around, would they do better without fans in than without? But I think every football will tell you they'd rather have fans in the stadium to be able to show their appreciation and cheer their team on to moments like this, occasions like this. As West Ham start the second half with possession. But they give it away now to Bruno Fernandes. This is a great chance for Ronaldo. Great save again from Fabianski, and Ronaldo could well have had a hat-trick today. Had it not been for Fabianski. West Ham giving the ball away. Really poor pass from Pablo Fornals. Bruno Fernandes in the path of Ronaldo. You were waiting for the net to bulge, and Lucas Fabianski denied him with a great stop. That really is a superb save from Lucas Fabianski. And Ronaldo has his head in his hands and wonders how on earth he doesn't have a brace. It's a corner to United on their right-hand side. In-swinger from Luke Shaw coming. Here it comes from Luke Shaw. In towards the far post. Headed away. It'll come to Ronaldo on the volley. Got blocked, and now Jared Bowen can bring it away for West Ham. Getting the ball away to Sofal. And he's done well to win it away from Fred. Fornals now, men over on the left-hand side, but Fornals with a poor pass towards Sofal. It's gone out for a corner, however. Good pressure from Sofal to force McTominay to put it out of play. An end-to-end start to the second half, as it was an end-to-end occasion all round in the first. First real opportunity for the likes of Ogbonna and Kurt Zouma to get forward. It is West Ham's first corner of the day. Souček, of course, such a threat from set pieces. In swinger from Jared Bowen in towards Kurt Zouma. He won't get there. It's headed away by Maguire, and the job completed before it can be volleyed back in by Fornals. That's a lovely pass back out to Bowen, and incredible control from Bowen. If you can get the cross in now, he's looking for the ball in towards Souček, but it's gone straight through to De Gea. It was more of a shot than a cross from Jared Bowen. But a really exciting start to the second half. I'll just take you through the teams again with no substitutions so far. For West Ham, Lucas Fabianski in goal. Vladimir Coufal, Kurt Zouma, who's making his first start for West Ham in the Premier League today. Angelo Ogbonna, Aaron Cresswell, Declan Rice, the captain, Thomas Souček, Pablo Fornals, Nikola Vlasic, who again is making his first Premier League start for West Ham. Saeed Benrahma and Jared Bowen. The substitutes, Alphonse Areola, Ryan Fredericks, Craig Dawson, Issa Diop, Arthur Masuaku, Alex Kral, Mark Noble, Manuel Lanzini, and Andrei Yarmolenko. As United come down the right-hand side, their team is David De Gea in goal, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire, Rafael Varane, Luke Shaw, Scott McTominay, Fred, Mason Greenwood, Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, and Cristiano Ronaldo. The substitutes for Manchester United, Tom Heaton, Eric Bailly, Diego Dallo, Jesse Lingard, Juan Mata, Nemanja Matic, Donny van de Beek, Jadon Sancho, and Anthony Martial. West Ham coming forward now, looking for Fornals on the far side, but it's good defending from Aaron Wan-Bissaka. One of the best defensive fullbacks in the Premier League, it has to be said. Fantastic talent, signed for £50 million from Crystal Palace back in 2019 after a brilliant breakout season for the Eagles. Luke Shaw now out to Bruno Fernandes. Drifting more and more out to this left-hand side. Luke Shaw Can't get the crossing because it's blocked by Souček, and it's gone out for another Manchester United corner. The 8th of the afternoon so far. It'll be an outswinger from Luke Shaw on this occasion. Rafael Varane, Maguire making their way forward, the two centre-backs for United. Luke Shaw getting ready to deliver. Here it comes. Left-footed outswinger towards Harry Maguire, who gets there, and he can't really angle it towards goal, and it goes well wide of the West Ham United goal. West Ham in their claret and blue with white shorts, with Manchester United in their third kit, which I can describe as shaded blue, I think it's fair to say, with dark blue shorts. Ronaldo, 7 shots so far today. He's been a constant threat. Of course, 2 of his shots came in one moment for the equaliser for United on 35 minutes. Declan Rice, the West Ham captain, giving it now to Kurt Zouma, signing from Chelsea in the transfer window just gone. Zouma with lovely ball to Pablo Fornals, over the top to Jared Bowen, up against Harry Maguire on the right-hand side, with the cross back to Fornals with the back heel, and he really should have left it for Nikola Vlasic. Jared Bowen did some great work after the pass from Fornals. Drove in towards the penalty area, right foot cross, and Pablo Fornals really took it off the foot of Nikola Vlasic, who was coming in on it ready to strike. Because I think if Fornals leaves that, I would say it's 2-1 to West Ham, but United coming forward now. Paul Pogba, Luke Shaw charging up on his outside, back to Bruno Fernandes, back to Paul Pogba with the first time strike, and it's gone well over the bar. Those two combined for United's equalising goal in the fixture between these two sides at London Stadium last season. It was a controversial goal, in fact, when it looked like the ball had gone out of play, but it wasn't. It was deemed not to have done so. Paul Pogba swept in on that occasion after a tee-up from Bruno Fernandes, but he's over the bar this time. And an update from the Amex, where Brighton Hove Albion have now gone 2-0 up against Leicester. Danny Welbeck with the second goal for the Seagulls against the Foxes. Graham Potter side of the start of the season very well, heading for 4 wins from their first 5, as Manchester United have a corner here after a very sloppy bit of play from Aaron Cresswell. Tried to angle it back to Angelo Ogbonna, but it was a poor pass, and it's gone straight out for a corner, which Luke Shaw will take on this near side. An in-swinger from the England left-back. Plenty of options, as always, for United from set pieces. Luke Shaw with delivery. Right into the mixer, headed behind for a goal kick. Maguire was in there again, as he was for the last corner. Challenging with Ogbonna. I think he's still got a word or two to say to Aaron Cresswell after the concession of that corner. But West Ham dealt with it well enough, and it's still West Ham 1, Manchester United 1 after 53 minutes. David Moyes wanting his side to get forward. It's been backs to the wall, apart from that chance for Pablo Fornals. Which again, I'm sure looking back, he would have preferred to leave it for his Croatian teammate Vlasic. Cresswell forward now looking for Vlasic, and it went just through to David De Gea. Good judgment in the end from the Spaniard. It's been a testing time for David De Gea somewhat at both club and country level. Lost his place to Dean Henderson at the back end of last season, and Unai Simon is between the sticks for Spain at this moment in time. Apart from one howler, it's fair to say, against Croatia. Had a very good European Championships as well, Unai Simon. Played at the Olympics as well for Spain, as they claimed the silver medal in the men's competition. Rice into Benrahma, gives it back to Souček. Kurt Zouma out to Sofal. Driving forward, Sofal. Cutting back inside. That might not be the best idea because Paul Pogba's pounced on it, and Souček has to deal with it and put out for a throw-in on the halfway line for Manchester United. Sofal just wanted to charge forward there, but didn't really have an option after he'd done so. So turned back, Pogba pressurised him and won the ball back for United. Varane now to McTominay. Wan-Bissaka. Looked at Bruno Fernandes, but decided to give it back to Rafael Varane. Fernandes had come deep down the right-hand side. Varane. Luke Shaw. To Pogba, but Pogba let it run and Luke Shaw couldn't get on the ball himself. Fabianski clearing it away. Bit of a tangle between Bowen and Maguire there, but no doing, says the referee, and Fred picks up the possession for United. Gives it to McTominay, into Fernandes. Nice ball around the corner to Wan-Bissaka. Ronaldo in there, as well as Mason Greenwood, and it's towards Mason Greenwood, headed away by Ogbonna. Fred tries to give it to Pogba. Fornals blocks it, but it comes back to Luke Shaw now. Cresswell away, only as far as Pablo Fornals, who actually does quite well there, to give it to Declan Rice. Declan Rice wanting some help there and gets it in the shape of Aaron Cresswell. Around the corner to Nikola Vlasic, who does well but is held up, and there's no free kick for West Ham. Fred comes away with the ball. Fernandes. Pogba. McTominay. Pogba again. Into Fernandes. That's a ball around the corner looking for Mason Greenwood, and it's cleared away by the goalkeeper, Fabianski. Interesting selection midweek for West Ham, actually, with Fabianski playing in the Europa League as well, with Alphonse Areola on the bench. I saw some West Ham fans questioning that decision, not against Lucas Fabianski, but just wondering why Alphonse Areola didn't get the selection against Dinamo Zagreb. Despite relegation with Fulham last year, it was a decent campaign for Areola. He's on loan to West Ham now from PSG, the World Cup winner in 2018 with France. West Ham win the ball back. Declan Rice, nice touch. Trademark run into midfield from Declan Rice and gives it to Pablo Fornals. Sweeps it around the corner. Jared Bowen could be in down the right-hand side. He's got options. Jared Bowen cutting back in his left. Jared Bowen, it's deflected. Back to Vladimir Sofal with the cross looking for Vlasic. Fred calmly plays it to Paul Pogba. There's a chance for West Ham, but United can look to break now. Really good work by Souček, who wins the foul from Paul Pogba. Who looks to the referee to say, is that really a foul? But it was indeed. Souček got himself in between man and ball and won the foul, won the free kick for West Ham. Ogbonna now to Kurt Zouma. Souček. Declan Rice. Cresswell down the left-hand side for West Ham, which has been a source of some of their threats today, West Ham. In particular, the chance for Nikola Vlasic. We know how good Cresswell is from deliveries, particularly from set pieces. Fernandes, lovely touch to take down the clearance, and the ball looking for Ronaldo, headed it back to Paul Pogba. Quality all over the pitch for Manchester United. Such a deep squad. Plenty of quality throughout in several positions. So Jesse Lingard warming up there, of course. It wasn't the best day for the former West Ham loanee on Tuesday with the under-hit back pass leading to Young Boys Bern winner in stoppage time. But he had a fantastic loan spell at West Ham last year, didn't he, Jesse Lingard? From the end of January onwards, put himself in contention for England's spot at the European Championships in the squad, but just didn't quite make it in the end. Rejected a new contract at United as well in recent weeks, suggesting he was unsure about his playing time, especially after the signing of Ronaldo. Bowen and Maguire going for the same ball there, but the flag's up for offside against Jared Bowen on the far side. McTominay back to Rafael Varane. Now Fred. He's able to turn around and look for options, Fred. Certainly not short of them. Now Bruno Fernandes could be in round the right-hand side. This is a low cross looking towards Ronaldo, but Sofal comes across and deals with it well. Low ball in from Bruno Fernandes. But Souček was alert to the danger posed by Ronaldo. It will be a corner for United. Luke Shaw with another in-swinger. Ronaldo seemed to be gesturing in terms of where he wants the ball to be played. The ball in from Luke Shaw. It's come towards the far post. Bruno Fernandes was free of the ball that come to him, but headed away by Vlasic, and West Ham can now look to try and break. Good defending in the end by Mason Greenwood. McTominay now to Shaw. Shaw out to the far side for Bruno Fernandes. This is where the equaliser came from left side for United. Fernandes looking for the shot, deflecting. It's another Manchester United corner, and we are very much into double figures for United corners now. Dominating possession, of course, so far this game. Luke Shaw's delivered several teasing balls into the penalty area. Varane, Ronaldo, Fernandes in there as well. Pogba, Maguire, McTominay. Shaw with the cross towards the far post, and it was towards Bruno Fernandes. It'll go through to the far side. He's kept it in though, Fernandes, and it will be a throw-in off Jared Bowen. Just past the hour mark at the London Stadium, it's West Ham 1, Manchester United 1, 62 minutes played. It's an end-to-end first half. Said Benrahma's deflected strike off Rafael Varane, giving West Ham the lead after 30 minutes before, who else? Cristiano Ronaldo equalising for Manchester United after 35 minutes after his shot was parried by Lucas Fabianski. McTominay makes some space for himself to get the shot away, but Kurt Zouma was able to deny him, and now Nikola Vlasic can give it to Aaron Cresswell, and the break for West Ham. Said Benrahma on the left-hand side, cutting inside. Benrahma onto his right foot, looking for the far post. Got a shot away, and it's well blocked in the end by McTominay. Benrahma then can't find Cresswell, and McTominay needs a little bit of treatment here. He's down after a fierce shot by Benrahma. It was a good block by Scott McTominay. United medical team just making sure the Scotland international is okay. Burst on the scene over the last few years or so, Scott McTominay actually scored the winner against West Ham in the FA Cup last season for United. Benrahma given the ball by Cresswell, cutting inside a few players and letting a shot go. It's caught McTominay flush in the face. So, of course, the concussion checks have got to take place to make sure McTominay is okay to carry on here. I think he wants to carry on, the 24-year-old. Reminds me a bit of Darren Fletcher, Scott McTominay. Just the ever-reliable man in midfield. Of course, Darren Fletcher, a cult figure at Manchester United for his achievements with the club. Just a reminder of the goals so far today during this break for Scott McTominay's knock. Beside Benrahma with a curling strike, took a deflection off Rafael Varane into the corner. David De Gea had no chance, and West Ham led 1-0 after 30 minutes. But United came straight back. Bruno Fernandes with a cross into the box. Ronaldo got free. His first shot was saved by Lucas Fabianski, but he couldn't hold it. And it came back to Ronaldo, who gobbled up the second opportunity from close range for his fourth goal already on his return to Manchester United. 4 goals in 3 games for Ronaldo so far. You can imagine there'll be plenty more for the Portuguese as we see Andrei Yarmolenko getting ready to come on for West Ham. The Ukrainian, wand of a left foot, of course. Andrei Yarmolenko scored a great winner against Chelsea after Project Restart season before last. United coming down the right-hand side now. Mason Greenwood trying to go over to the far side, but it's been blocked, and Vlasic can pick it up now in the left-back area, but it's a poor giveaway, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka can pick up on it. McTominay getting away from Benrahma. Pogba. Score update from the Amex, and Jamie Vardy has pulled one back for Leicester. Of course, they surrendered a 2-goal lead against Napoli on Thursday. Can they come back from 2 goals down against Brighton today? So it's Brighton 2, Leicester 1. Jamie Vardy with the goal for the Foxes. As United come into the penalty area, Bonner doing really well to deal with Mason Greenwood. Fernandez just can't get the cross in. Cleared away by Souček. I'll just remind you of the other scorers in that game. Neil Maupay gave Brighton the lead from the penalty spot before Danny Welbeck doubled the lead. And Jamie Vardy has brought Leicester back into that game. So that's Brighton 2, Leicester 1 at the Amex. Ronaldo turning. Bruno Fernandes just can't get the ball back through to Ronaldo, and Kurt Zouma does well to calmly play the ball out to Vlasic. Trying to get away from McTominay, and he does so. Finds Ben Rama. Does really well side Ben Rama up against Fred, but no foul. And Fred regains possession for Man United. Souček. Out to Sofal, his Czech Republic teammate. Was teammates at Slavia Prague once upon a time. Ogbonna. Declan Rice. Cresswell, left-hand side for West Ham. Back to Rice. Ogbonna. Over to Zouma. New centre-back partnership for West Ham today. It had been Ogbonna and Craig Dawson up until today in the Premier League so far this season. But Kurt Zouma coming in for his first start for the Hammers in the league. Craig Dawson on the bench. Declan Rice now to Cresswell. Andriy Yarmolenko ready to come on for West Ham. Ben Rama. Souček. The lovely looking ball out to Vladimir Sofal. It's a great take from Sofal. It'll come now to Fornals, will it? It's been blocked away, and Paul Pogba calmly looks to take United away with the ball, but that's great defending from Kurt Zouma, and he's won the free kick off Paul Pogba, who is furious at the decision. But Martin Atkinson was adamant that was a free kick, and it is a free kick to West Ham about 35 yards from goal. Pogba taking down Kurt Zouma there. Kurt Zouma won the ball well. He got there first. Potentially a little theatrical from Kurt Zouma, but it was a foul by Paul Pogba. West Ham have a free kick in a dangerous position. Be interesting to see if they go with the substitution now or just wait until after the set piece. Kurt Zouma gingerly walking towards the penalty area, but it will be a substitution for West Ham after 68 minutes. Nikola Vlasic's first league start for West Ham has come to an end, and he's replaced by the Ukrainian international Andriy Yarmolenko. And a star, particularly on the international stage for Ukraine, Yarmolenko. It was always him and Yevan Konoplyanka on either side. The Ukrainian captain is on for West Ham. From a Dynamo Kiev man. It's Cresswell set to take this set piece for West Ham. So plenty of options up there. Ogbonna, Zouma, Yarmolenko, Souček. He's played it short to Sofal, who swings it in towards Zouma on the far post. He'll come through to Souček, who doesn't really get hold of his cross. Second opportunity for Souček. Back to Fornals. Ben Rama looking for Souček. It's come through to Yarmolenko, but the referee has given a free kick before Yarmolenko could get his shot away for a foul on foul by Thomas Souček, rather. Ben Rama looked to play the ball into the penalty area instead of taking the shot on. And the ball, well, Thomas Souček was deemed to have denied Aaron Wan-Bissaka or fouled him. I'm not really sure if that was the case. It'd be very interesting to see if this goes to VAR, because I think if it does, West Ham may have a shout, but the game has continued. No VAR check. Souček may have been offside in the build-up. Yarmolenko certainly was, but it was an interesting collision between Thomas Souček and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. As Luke Shaw, the ball goes out after the ball towards Luke Shaw, but it's a throw into West Ham, just level with their penalty area. Just over 20 minutes to go at the London Stadium. It's West Ham 1, Manchester United 1. Said Benrahma after 30 minutes with a deflected strike before Ronaldo netted a rebound from his own effort to equalise for United. Jesse Lingard getting ready to come on for United, the West Ham loanee from last season. I mentioned earlier he had a moment to forget in midweek after his underhit back pass was capitalised on by Young Boys in the final minute to inflict an opening day defeat for United in the Champions League. Jadon Sancho also getting ready to come on, the £75 million signing from Borussia Dortmund in the summer. He did make the England squad for the Euros, unlike Jesse Lingard. So far with the throw-in, it's given back to him by Benrahma, who tried to take it under control again, but it's come back to Sofal off Fred, who plays the ball forward looking for Yarmolenko, who seems to have taken the focal point of a striker, with Bowen going out to the right-hand side now, and that's hooked forward towards Mason Greenwood. Really good defending from Declan Rice as Greenwood looked to get in down the centre there. Rice now. Cresswell left-hand side, charging forward. Not too many options to aim for inside the penalty area, only Yarmolenko, so he gives it back to Declan Rice. Benrahma, who's dropped a little bit deeper, gives it out to Sofal right-hand side, just about takes them to control. Yarmolenko is there with him, up against Luke Shaw now. Sofal gets the cross in towards Aaron Cresswell, headed away by Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Comes through to Declan Rice. Benrahma. Forward towards looking for Yarmolenko. The flag stays down and Benrahma will hit it and blocked by Harry Maguire. Yarmolenko is in there as well. He has the ball now. Aaron Cresswell with the cross. Cleared away and acrobatically cleared by Bruno Fernandes. Declan Rice. Benrahma. Just about keeps the ball. Andrei Yarmolenko. Looking for options. Plays it through to Fornals. Could be in here for West Ham and it's a good block. Jared Bowen keeps it alive, but it will go out for a United throw. In fact, it's a free kick for United in their own 6-yard box after the foul by Jared Bowen on Rafael Varane. Yarmolenko with the ball around the corner to Pablo Fornals. Varane did well to defend, and Bowen just nicked in there. Just a little touch on Varane, but it sent the Frenchman down. It's a free kick to United while they make these substitutions. Mason Greenwood coming off to be replaced by Jadon Sancho. Number 25 for Man United. And Paul Pogba as well to be replaced by Jesse Lingard. Round of applause for Jesse Lingard from the West Ham fans who were very grateful for his contributions last season. Played a big part in West Ham getting into their Europa League spot at the end of the campaign. But he's on now to do a job for United and potentially a bit of a redemption job after his mistake on Tuesday as Luke Shaw plays the ball towards Jesse Lingard and it's cleared away at the near post by Kurt Zouma, who's had a very good game for West Ham on debut in the Premier League. Luke Shaw trying to get in down the left-hand side. Sancho now back to Fred. McTominay. Cut out by Declan Rice, and West Ham could have an opportunity here. Only Yarmolenko ahead of Declan Rice, and he's going towards the left-hand side now. He's got Yarmolenko with him. Declan Rice looking towards the penalty area, getting into the penalty area, cutting back outside to Yarmolenko, trying to curl it in towards Jared Bowen with the outside of his left foot. But Ronaldo was all the way back at right back to defend. He's actually giving the ball away, Ronaldo. Declan Rice now. Well, Yarmolenko for company. Declan Rice with the cross, and it's a good take by David De Gea, who bowls the ball out quickly to Bruno Fernandes, and now Jesse Lingard. United, it's a break. Bruno Fernandes with the low shot first time, and it's a comfortable one for Lucas Fabianski. Reminder that you can follow us on Twitter, the Commentary Hub. Our Twitter handle is Commentary Live 1. So that's Commentary Live followed by the number 1 for our Twitter account. Keep up to date with all of our commentaries throughout the season, various competitions with some very talented commentators. Make sure you give it a follow on social media. Just approaching the last 15 minutes here before stoppage time at the London Stadium. 75 minutes. West Ham 1 at Manchester United 1. Bowen cutting inside from the right, giving it to Benrahma. Said Benrahma getting it back from Pablo Fornals. Benrahma. Souček. Declan Rice playing it to Benrahma, who's a little bit deeper at the moment. Rice. Charging forward, Declan Rice, as he loves to do for club and country. Vladimir Sofal swings it in. There's no one there from a West Ham perspective. Benrahma, though. The clearance from Varane. Aaron Cresswell back to Said Benrahma. There's options if he wants to try and swing it in, but he plays it safe to Declan Rice, who looks now for Aaron Cresswell, left-hand side. Pablo Fornals cutting in on his right. Chipping it towards Thomas Souček with the ball back to Pablo Fornals. Slips, he tries to get the cross in, but he's kept possession there, Fornals. Aaron Wan-Bissaka wins it off him, and it's Bruno Fernandes to Jesse Lingard on this near right-hand side for United. Sancho. Jesse Lingard. Luke Shaw's got some space here. Luke Shaw finds Ronaldo on the outside. Cristiano Ronaldo cutting inside on his left foot. He's gone down. Martin Atkinson has said no penalty. Ronaldo cannot believe it. Cristiano Ronaldo cannot believe it. He has his head in his hands and he cannot believe he has not won a penalty for United. He cut inside Vladimir Sofal, but he looks like he's gone over the knee of the Czech Republic international, and Martin Atkinson has waved away his appeals. Ronaldo cannot believe it. Shaking his head and asking why on earth that wasn't a penalty, Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't think it's gone to VAR. Sofal definitely put his leg out, but did Ronaldo initiate the contact? That must be what Martin Atkinson is saying. In fact, Martin Atkinson waved play on. So there was not a VAR check on that penalty shout for Manchester United. Ronaldo went down. Martin Atkinson says no penalty. Jadon Sancho in now down the right-hand side. Gets the cross in. It's away from Ronaldo. Souček heads it away only as far as Fred. Luke Shaw. McTominay. Sancho. Fernandes now towards Ronaldo. That's really good defending from Kurt Zouma, who has been sensational today. Ronaldo's still asking about the penalty. A bone of contention here. Manchester United will feel that they should have a spot kick, but Martin Atkinson was adamant and did not award the penalty. It's a poor touch from Fred. Souček. If United lose this game now, then that moment could become even more scrutinised. Jared Bowen went down, just holding his chest in midfield. Be very interesting to get the thoughts of that later on with Russ back after the match. Varane. McTominay. Does well to keep it from Benrahma and Fornals. Fred. Wan-Bissaka. Fernandes round the corner looking for Jadon Sancho. Rafael Varane now to Wan-Bissaka, and Yarmolenko tries to challenge, but Wan-Bissaka gets it back safely to David De Gea. Maguire. Hasn't been able to bring the ball that forward much today, Harry Maguire, as he usually does. Ronaldo now to Jesse Lingard on the left-hand side. Him and Sancho have switched. Lingard back to Fred. McTominay. Fernandes. Wan-Bissaka. Fernandes with the first time cross to low one and dealt easily by Kurt Zouma. Maguire puts out of play, and it's a West Ham throw on the far side. Approaching the last 10 minutes here at the London Stadium. All square. West Ham 1, Manchester United 1. Can either team get a winner as we enter the closing stages of the contest? United on 10 points before this. West Ham on 8 points. Both unbeaten the start of this Premier League season. And that is a corner for West Ham after a very poor back pass by Raphael Varane, and David De Gea couldn't keep it in. A needless corner for Manchester United to concede. De Gea acknowledges the attempted back pass by his teammate Raphael Varane, but nevertheless, it's led to a set piece for United. It's led for a set piece for West Ham United. It's allowed the likes of Souček, Zouma, Rice, Ogbonna to all get up into the penalty area. Been few and far between these set piece chances for West Ham today, but can they make this one count? Bowen with the left foot cross. In swinger. Souček was up there. So was Maguire. It'll fall to Pablo Fornals! Lashing his right foot shot wide of David De Gea's goal. De Gea always looked pretty confident it was going wide, but it was a good effort from Fornals. Had to try and curl his shot around Harry Maguire, and it was always going wide from the Spanish international. Scored his first Spain goal, actually, in the last international break against Kosovo, Pablo Fornals. But it's with United now, Raphael Varane. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Varane now. Looking for options. Playing it wide to Fred. Luke Shaw hugging the touchline. Basically a winger at the moment, Luke Shaw. But that's a poor pass by Fred. Jared Bowen nips in. Said Benrahma. His header is wayward and Fred picks up on it. But Yarmolenko trying to win the ball back. And Fernandes does well to reclaim it for United in midfield. Jadon Sancho. Scott McTominay. Sancho back to McTominay. Luke Shaw, left-hand side. Ronaldo making his way into the penalty area. He's not there yet, though, so Luke Shaw has to hold fire, give it to Fernandes. Trying to play the ball through to Jesse Lingard, but it's cleared away by the West Ham defence. Maguire down safely to Fred. Raphael Varane. Plenty in front of him. Varane. To his right-hand side has Wan-Bissaka, and he tried to play in Wan-Bissaka, but it was good defending from Declan Rice. And Cresswell now in left-back position gives it to Rice. Down by his own corner flag, and he wins a throw-in. Good defending by Declan Rice. Superb performance again by him today in midfield. Combative and technical midfielder Declan Rice, still only 22 years of age. The starter for club and country, and a huge future ahead of him, it has to be said. Yarmolenko coming deep to receive the throw-in. West Ham just looking for a way out at the moment. They haven't actually taken this throw-in yet. Yarmolenko forward. Still with Yarmolenko. But now Raphael Varane picks it up. And wins a throw-in off Pablo Fornals. For United, I guess a draw here isn't the worst result after Manchester City's draw yesterday, but they would have wanted to go level with Liverpool at the top. Of course, Chelsea got Tottenham later on today as well. An emotional game after the sad passing of Jimmy Greaves earlier today. The late, great Jimmy Greaves. Maguire. Square to McTominay. Back to Fernandes, who's dropping very deep at the moment. Raphael Varane with the left foot pass. It's a lovely searcher out to Jadon Sancho. Takes under control brilliantly well. Sancho stayed on side. Luke Shaw. Passing Jesse Lingard. Gives it back out to Jadon Sancho. Up against Sofal and Bowen. Jesse Lingard looking for Ronaldo. He's gone down again. And he's looking for another penalty, but doesn't get it. He was denied a spot kick by Atkinson's decision earlier on after the challenge from Sofal. He tried to get past Ogbonna and Cresswell again. And he went down, appealing for a penalty. And Martin Atkinson again says no. Harry Maguire. Fernandez. Oh, it's a poor pass from Harry Maguire. And he knows it. It was a simple pass out to Bruno Fernandes, 5 yards or so, but it goes straight out of play, and it's a throw in for West Ham near the halfway line. And Manuel Lanzini will be coming on for West Ham, their second change of the afternoon. Argentine midfielder. Started in the Europa League win over Dinamo Zagreb in the week. Set to come on, but United have the ball at the moment. I would imagine next time it goes out of play, we will see the introduction of Manuel Lanzini. Scored West Ham's goal of the season, of course, last year for his sensational stoppage time strike against Tottenham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, a game in which West Ham were 3-0 down going into the closing stages of the game before a late 3-goal comeback completed by Lanzini's wonder goal. Wan-Bissaka. Still with Wan-Bissaka down the right-hand side. McTominay. Fred and McTominay exchanging passes. Maguire. Doesn't have an option, so comes back inside and gives it to Jesse Lingard. Wan-Bissaka over the top looking for Lingard. He's taking it down well, gets the cross in, but it's dealt with by Sofal. It wasn't the best cross by Jesse Lingard, but it was easy enough for Sofal to deal with. Nemanja Matic as well coming on for Manchester United, so we're going to see a substitution for each side here when the ball goes out of play. Wan-Bissaka. Varane. Fred. Maguire back to Fred in midfield. Varane past the halfway line now. Ronaldo has his arm up wanting the ball, but it's short to Wan-Bissaka, back to Rafael Varane. Lingard round the corner to McTominay, but Ogbonna, really good defending from the Italian. Clears it away. Varane just about maintains possession. It's gone out of play after Wan-Bissaka tried to pass the ball off Andrei Yarmolenko, and I think we will now see these substitutions. West Ham, it's Said Benrahma coming off to be replaced by Manuel Lanzini, and Fred going off to be replaced by Nemanja Matic. Said Benrahma, of course, with the opening goal for West Ham today. Deflected strike off Rafael Varane. Third goal of the season for Said Benrahma, while Nemanja Matic, the Serbian defensive midfielder, coming on in place of Fred. United coming forward on the left-hand side now. Matic, first involvement for him. Near side now with Jesse Lingard. Out to Bruno Fernandes, central midfield. Dropping deep. Nemanja Matic. Forward towards looking for Ronaldo. Zuma deals with it. The goalkeeper was coming forward, but Ronaldo was also lurking as well. Matic. Luke Shaw. It's a goal for Manchester United. It's Jesse Lingard. Of all the people, Jesse Lingard scores the winner for Manchester United, potentially at London Stadium. A heartbreaking moment for the Hammers faithful. But Jesse Lingard, redemption for him after his mistake in midweek. David Moyes cannot believe it. The pass from Matic found Lingard inside the penalty area. He cut inside Kurt Zouma, who's defended well so far today. And it's a brilliant strike from Lingard, who's found the top corner for his second goal in 2 Premier League games. Jesse Lingard, of all people, with a dagger to the heart of West Ham. He cut inside Kurt Zouma, and it is a perfect strike. There is not a keeper around that is saving that from Jesse Lingard. And he scores in successive Premier League games. And how do West Ham fight back from this? They were leading this game, but as Manchester United have done so often over the last year and a half, they have come back from behind to lead away from home. West Ham don't give up on this yet. They're coming down the right-hand side. This is Souček with the back heel to find Yarmolenko. Very good defending from Scott McTominay. And United can now try to break. With Bruno Fernandes. Just taking the sting out of this now, United. What a moment for Jesse Lingard. Of course, he was part of the defeat in midweek, but now he's potentially part of the win as Kurt Zouma tackles Ronaldo inside the penalty area, but the referee has given a goal kick, and for the third time today, Ronaldo is denied a spot kick. And this one, if it goes to VAR, may be overturned. Although Ronaldo is going down slightly before the challenge from Kurt Zouma, it'd be very interesting if it does go to VAR. But it is play on. It has not gone to VAR, and West Ham are still in this game. 3 minutes of added time. We're just a minute or so into it. Declan Rice for West Ham. Sofal. Bowen cutting in from the right, looking for options. He's gone down. It's a free kick to West Ham, 30 yards from goal. And this is possibly West Ham's last chance. David Moyes knows it. His side led 2-1. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side set for another away win in the Premier League. It looks like their unbeaten run away from home will be extended at the very least as Yarmolenko goes to get the cross in. It's been blocked by Luke Shaw. They're claiming handball. The whole team and the fans were claiming handball for West Ham. Yarmolenko get the cross in with his right foot. It hits Luke Shaw's hand, and this could be a penalty for West Ham United in the 93rd minute. A corner has been given. But Martin Atkinson is just waiting to hear from the VAR officials. And West Ham could have a penalty here. Possible penalty for handball against Luke Shaw. The ball around the corner, a penalty. A penalty claim from West Ham. And Martin Atkinson has gone to look at the monitor. And West Ham could well have a penalty in stoppage time here. He's gone over to the monitor. You can see that Yarmolenko crosses it. It's clearly hit the hand of Luke Shaw. The forearm of the England defender inside the penalty area. Martin Atkinson gives a penalty to West Ham in the 94th minute. And Luke Shaw cannot believe it. Neither can Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And the Hammers have a chance to level it up in stoppage time. Luke Shaw is complaining. Harry Maguire as well. But now those penalty claims for Manchester United may be highlighted even more. West Ham, having gone behind in the 89th minute with a wonder strike from Jesse Lingard, have a chance to level it. And Mark Noble, Mr. West Ham United, is coming on to replace Jarrod Bowen in the final moments of the game to take this penalty. Mark Noble's only kick of this match may be to equalise against Manchester United with the very last kick of the game. He has scored his last 5 penalties for West Ham. 462 league games for the Hammers. He is Mr. West Ham. He is claret and blue through and through. He has the chance to level it for West Ham against Manchester United as we tick into the 5th minute of stoppage time. Martin Atkinson making sure United players are behind the line. Mark Noble, right-footed, saved by David De Gea. What a save from David De Gea, and he has ensured United's 3 points here. What an end to the game at the London Stadium. United looking at the counter now. Jadon Sancho going down the right-hand side. Giving it to Lingard. Can he get the cut back? It's gone out for a goal kick. What a save from David De Gea to deny Mark Noble. It went towards De Gea's left-hand side. It was not a good penalty by Mark Noble. His first kick of the game, his only kick of the game. And David De Gea has denied the West Ham captain Mark Noble. And that is full time. What a finish at the London Stadium as Manchester United have claimed a dramatic 2-1 win over West Ham United in the most incredible circumstances. West Ham led through Said Benrahma's deflected strike in the first half before Cristiano Ronaldo's equaliser. They had several penalty appeals turned down before Jesse Lingard cut inside and buried a sensational strike into the top corner after 89 minutes. Deep into stoppage time, however, West Ham rewards the penalty for a handball by Luke Shaw. Mark Noble came on to replace Jared Bowen to take the penalty. But David De Gea sprang to his left-hand side, produced the save, and ensures that Manchester United have claimed the 3 points at the London Stadium and go level at the top of the table alongside Liverpool. What a finish. Quite incredible scenes. And it's finished at the London Stadium. West Ham United 1, Manchester United 2.
Yes, thank you very much there, Chris. And Chris, just before we let you go, mate, who was your player of the match today for this game at the London Stadium? Who would you give the player of the match to in the end, my friend?
Well, before stoppage time, I might have been saying Kurt Zouma, to be honest with you, Russ. It was incredible performance by the Premier League debutant for West Ham. Obviously, signing from Chelsea, played in the Europa League in midweek. But David De Gea, what a moment for him. Of course, the scrutiny of his miss in the Europa League final at the end of last season as well, which cost United the trophy on that occasion. But a sensational save to deny Mark Noble. Yes, he didn't have too much to do today, David De Gea, but a moment like that, at a time like that, incredible. An incredible save from David De Gea, and it's preserved Manchester United's win. They are now level at the top of the table with Liverpool. And just about, I'll give it David De Gea because that was an enthralling encounter.
Yes, indeed, it was a superb encounter, Chris. I enjoyed watching that one. In the other game that kicked off at 2 o'clock, let me tell people that it is finished Brighton 2, Leicester City 1. Neil Maupay with a penalty in the first half. Danny Welbeck then pulled Brighton 2-0 up with an header from a corner just inside the second half, at the start of the second half. And then Leicester pulled the goal back after brilliant work. And it was that man, Jamie Vardy, with the goal coming in at the back post from Yuri Tielemans' cross. There, and going a few comments in here as well is Paul James has been in touch when that West Ham penalty was given. I'll just read out what he has to say here. He says, I don't know why they are complaining. He's almost in a natural position, making him bigger to ball the cross. It's a clear penalty. He also says to you, Chris, thanks for the commentary as usual. It was awesome, and congratulations on your debut commentary here on the Commentary Hub. Chris will get your thoughts on the overall performance of both the teams in a moment as well. And JB, who was on before, and Chris, who spoke to pre-show as well, who gave that brilliant tribute to Jimmy Greaves at the top of the show. If you want to listen to that, listen back to it when it goes up on playback. This one today, he says, "Well done, Chris. Great comms today." So got some good feedback there, Chris. And Chris, overall, do you think that's a fair reflection on the scoreline? Would you say that's a fair result in the complexion of the game this evening? Well, this afternoon, should I say, or evening or morning, depending where people are tuned in from.
Well, first of all, just want to say thank you to the feedback for everyone. Of course, my first commentary today, and I've very much enjoyed it. With regards to the results, United will feel it was deserved. They bossed possession, several more shots on target, bossed corners as well. West Ham, when you lose a game that late on, it's always going to hurt, isn't it? And Jesse Lingard, of course, of all people, the West Ham loanee last season, popping up with a really stunning finish, it has to be said. I don't think there's a keeper on the planet that would have got near it. It's right in the top corner, the winning goal for Man United today at West Ham. And it's a strange one just because in terms of clear-cut chances, there weren't that many throughout the game, even though there was some fantastic saves in there, absolutely, especially from Lucas Fabianski in the first half to deny Bruno Fernandes. I think just about United did enough to edge it, but West Ham, when you miss a penalty in stoppage time, you will always feel like you've passed up the opportunity of getting at least a point, as it would have been for West Ham. So overall, I think United were worthy of the 3 points, but West Ham, and Mark Noble in particular, will be kicking themselves. They haven't come away with the draw.
Yes, and just touching on that, when Mark Noble came on, Chris, and I've been reading a few tweets from what people were saying on the TV coverage of this game, and they were saying, I'm not sure it was who was doing the TV commentary, and they were saying it was a bit cold for Mark Noble to just come on and get the ball and take the penalty straight away. Do you think that was a bit bold statement for saying his first involvement coming off of the bench to get that goal there for Mark Noble, Chris?
Well, Rush, you prepare for things during commentaries, don't you? You think to yourself, what might happen? Mark Noble coming on to take a penalty in stoppage time with his only kick of the entire game was not what I thought was going to happen today, to be honest with you. It was a bit like an NFL kicker, wasn't it? When their job is to come on and kick the ball, kick the points. In hindsight, will David Moyes regret the decision? I'm not sure. It's not obvious who in the absence of Michail Antonio, it's not obvious who the West Ham penalty taker would have been if Mark Noble wasn't on the pitch for the game today. He is, of course, Mr. West Ham. He's converted many a penalty during his career at West Ham. But when you come on, it's your first involvement in the game. Maybe you haven't warmed up as much. You warm up off the pitch, but you want to get into the flow of the game potentially. But West Ham weren't to know that they would have won a penalty shortly before that. It's a bold call. It's ultimately turned out to be the wrong call because, end of the day, he didn't score the penalty. And I think it would have been very interesting to see who would have taken the penalty had Mark Noble not come on. But a bold call, and yes, it's fair to say I was not expecting it. But it's a moment that, rightly or wrongly, will go down in Premier League history, really, in terms of how unique it was.
Absolutely, Chris. Absolutely, indeed. I've mentioned that he finished 2-1 to Brighton in the Premier League. Later in the Premier League, unfortunately, we will not be able to bring you this one, but Tottenham take on Chelsea at 4:30. There's been some FA Cup matches that's in the second half. Long leaves against Gloucester in the second qualifying round. That's just about to get started in the second half. They're not got a score update from that. In the Premier League too, I mentioned about Leeds United leading Liverpool at the break in that one, thanks to Joe Gellart and Amari Miller. Well, they finished Liverpool under-23s 0, Leeds United under-23s 4. Joe Gellart on 12 minutes, Amari Miller in the first half stoppage time. Pascal Struijk on the 59th minute, heading home from across from Stuart McKinstry. And then Joe Gallo with another superb goal made it 4-0 on 63 minutes. Gallo was then fouled inside the penalty area on 77 minutes. Excuse me. And Gallart saw his penalty saved. In the other matches in the Premier League 2 match, it finished Chelsea 1, Arsenal 6 in the under-23s, with 4 goals coming in the first half. Balogun missed a penalty on 6 minutes, but he scored on the rebound. Bereth, and then Balogun got a second. Bereth got his second. Bereth then completed an hat-trick in the second half. All scored an own goal with 8 minutes to go to make Arsenal 6-0 up in the game, but then all pulled a goal back in the 90+2 for Chelsea in the under-23s. Chelsea fans, if you're listening to this, you'll be hoping the first team don't lose by that scoreline later. And JB, if you're still with us, Burnley under-23s were away to Southampton at 2 o'clock this afternoon. That has finished Southampton 0, Burnley 2. Unwin and Tucker with the goals. Thompson missed a penalty for Burnley on the hour mark. Unwin scored in first half stoppage time and Tucker scored in the 74th minute. Lewis sent off for Southampton in first half just after the half hour mark, which then saw Wright, the substitute goalkeeper, come on to the field of play, and Burnley scored 2 goals with him on the field of play. But that's some of the under-23 games. There's some league matches going off in Ligue 1 in France. Nice and Monaco played out a 2-2 draw earlier on today. Angers and Nantes played out a 5-goal game, which Nantes won by 4-1. Clermont finished with 10 men as they were out to a 1-1 draw with Brest. Reims and El Orient drew 0-0. Troyes and Montpellier drew 1 apiece, with Montpellier finishing with 10 men. Marseille v Rennes has just got underway and been playing around about 2 minutes in that one. It is goalless. In the Bundesliga, latest score is Stuttgart 1, Leverkusen 3 with goals, and Leverkusen are down to 10 men in that one. You may remember Patrick Schick from the Euros. He has scored for Leverkusen on 90 minutes. Andrich scored the second before getting sent off, scored after 2 minutes sent off. 30 minutes later, and Witz has made it 3-1 on 70 minutes after Mangala pulled a goal back for Stuttgart. Later, Dortmund take on Union Berlin and Wolfsburg take on Frankfurt. In Syria, some games being played, this couple of games already played and results, which see Empoli lose 3-0 to Sampdoria and Venice lost 2-1 to Spezia. In the Scottish Premiership, it finished Dundee United 1, Dundee FC 0 in the Dundee derby. Livingston are currently leading 1-0 against Celtic in the Scottish Premiership, while Rangers are 1-0 up against Motherwell. So that's just some of the scores for that. And in La Liga, Real Mallorca versus Villarreal ended goalless. Real Sociedad and Sevilla, that's also goalless at the break. So that's just some of the other games around Europe. But back here at the London, what a game we saw today, which saw West Ham United lose 2-1 to Manchester United, and the man on loan at West Ham last season, Jesse Lingard, was the hero for Manchester United. For myself and from Chris, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you again very soon from all of us here. Goodbye.